in searching for the self, there's quite a few different topics, all relating to emptiness. And in one of them, we got some general information about emptiness. The importance of realizing it, identifying the object of negation, the middle way view, the two extremes of absolutism and nihilism. And then the book went into the Pali tradition a bit, and there's one quite famous sutra in the Pali tradition that is known in the Mahayana tradition as well, and quoted in the Mahayana tradition. Now I just changed the battery and already it's beeping that it's old. Well, we'll see. Okay, so let me find my notes here. Here it is. Okay. It's still buzzing. So this is in the Samyutta Nikaya, Sutra 22, 95, for those of you who want to look it up in the Pali Canon. And so I will read it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It has some syllogies in it, and then go into the explanation. Okay? So, on one occasion, the Blessed One, meaning the Buddha, was dwelling at Ayodhya on the bank of the river Ganges. There, the Blessed One addressed the bhikshus such. So bhikshus, when he says bhikshus, he's talking to the entire assembly. So it includes everybody. But the bhikshus are the formal ones, yeah. So bhikshus, suppose this river Ganges was carrying along a great lump of foam. So as you hear this, imagine, follow the visualization. You're at the river Ganges, it's carrying along a great lump of foam. A man with good sight would inspect it, ponder it, and carefully investigate it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in a lump of foam? Yeah? Is there anything in foam? Yeah. So too, bhikshus, whatever kind of form there is, form meaning, usually material objects, not always, but usually, whatever kind of form there is, whether past, future, or present, internal, meaning inside our body, or external, in the environment, gross, very big, or subtle, inferior, so a bad quality form, or superior, a good quality one, far or near us or far from us. So whatever kind of form there is, a bhikshu inspects it, ponders it, and carefully investigates it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in form? So it starts out with the simile of a lump of foam, and how if you inspect it, investigate it, there's nothing you can grab there. Everything you grab disappears. So too, the Buddha makes the analogy. When you examine form, thermos, the book, the mouse, the microphone, anything, our bodies. Yeah. When you examine the body closely, investigate it, ponder it, yeah, there too you can't find anything substantial. What do you think? True or false? What are you talking about? This is substantial, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, this isn't hollow and void and insubstantial. Huh? So what's the Buddha saying? That it's hollow and void and insubstantial. What in the world is he talking about? Ultimately. Okay, so if we look at how the body, for example, is ultimately, we try and find what is the body, really. Where is the body when we examine it? Yeah, it kind of evaporates. Yeah, it's like a ball of foam. If you start out with your hand, okay, there's a real hand, right? There it is. Everybody can see it, right? Yeah. Okay. So what is this hand? Is it this finger? This finger? What's that one? Eeny, meeny. I don't know. We have all these little childish ditties about things. You know, is the hand any of the fingers? Is it the skin? Is it the muscle? Is it the bone? What is this hand? When we look, without analyzing, it's there and it is solid. When you start looking for what exactly is the hand, yeah, is there a hand there? What are you going to find that is the hand? Yeah. Well, maybe you say, well, the hand is all of it all together. Except the problem with that is that each part is not a hand. So how can you put a bunch of non-hands together and get a hand? Even the collection isn't a hand. Is there no hand? There's a hand. There's two hands, yeah. So it's interesting. You know, Buddha says it's hollow, void, insubstantial. Are you sure? Let's go on to the next part. Suppose, bhikshus, that in the autumn, okay, so you gotta visualize this too, that in the autumn, like it is now here, yeah, when it is raining with big raindrops, and big raindrops are falling, like today at the Abbey, a water bubble arises. Yeah, you get a little water bubble and bursts on the surface of the water. A man with good sight would inspect it, ponder it, and carefully investigate it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in a water bubble? Yeah, there's a bubble, but what in the world is it? And boom, like this, it's gone. Like this. When we see the bubble, it looks very real, very permanent. Then, boing, it is no more. Okay? So too, bhikshus, whatever kind of feeling there is, whether past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, a bhikshu inspects it, ponders it, and carefully investigates it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in feelings? Wait a minute. Okay, here feelings means feelings of pleasure or pain, happiness or suffering. It's not talking about feelings being emotions, but just the sensation, pleasant, unpleasant, suffering, happy. Okay. And the Buddha is saying, yeah, that it's like a bubble of water. Wait a minute. When I am happy and when I am miserable, it's not a bubble of water. This is incredibly important. Yeah, my happiness and my misery are the most important things in the universe, right? Yeah? Don't you think that too about your happiness and suffering? And the Buddha's saying it's like a bubble on a pond that arises, and like that goes this. But wait a minute, my feelings don't disappear like that. Well, sometimes they do. You distract me with something else, and yeah, my feelings change. Yeah, I can be happy one minute, and then somebody looks at me with a dirty look, and then the happiness has vanished, and now I'm down in the dumps. Yeah, then somebody else comes along and, praises me, and my happiness goes up, and my, unhappy feeling disappears. Kind of like a bubble of water, isn't it? It doesn't stay for long. But boy, when we are unhappy, that unhappiness, it feels pretty permanent, doesn't it? Yeah, I am unhappy. I am depressed. Those people don't treat me very well. Yeah. When you're in that mood, do you say to yourself, oh, this is transient like a bubble in water? No. You think, I am always going to be unhappy. There is no remedy to this unhappiness. I'm just depressed, past, present, future. And we sit and stew, don't we? Yeah? But the Buddha says, yeah, if you inspect it, ponder it, carefully investigate it, those feelings appear to be void, hollow, and insubstantial. Where is that feeling anyway? Is that unhappy feeling when you're depressed, or the happy feeling when, you're feeling good? Is that in your body? Where is that happy or unhappy feeling? Yeah? Does it have a color? Can you touch it? Yeah? Where is it? What is it? Yeah? You feel happy? You feel miserable? What in the world is that feeling when you really sit there and just look, And you ask, well, you could start out with where it is. Is my unhappiness in my head? Is it in your chest? Is it in your little finger? Yeah? And what is an unhappy feeling? What is a happy feeling? When you just really sit there, and experience it. What in the world is it? Where did it come from? Sometimes our feelings feel like they could just come out of nowhere. The other times it feels like, oh, my feelings come from that person. Yeah. That person made me unhappy. That person makes me very happy. Really? Our happy and unhappy feelings come from another person? How is that? they travel through the airwaves, through the sound waves? Do you breathe in the happiness or unhappiness? What in the world is a feeling? Yeah. And how long does it last? Yeah. It's very interesting when you feel sad and you just sit there. Okay, I'm feeling sad. And you just focus on the feeling of sad, or you focus on the feeling of happy. And what is it? Yeah, try that. This is mind, we're going through the 5 aggregates, practicing mindfulness. Okay? Then, let's go on to the next one. Suppose, bhikshus, that in the last month of the hot season, at high noon, a shimmering mirage appears. A man with good sight would inspect it, ponder it, and carefully investigate it. And it would appear to him to be void, hollow, and insubstantial. For what substance could there be in a mirage? Okay, so mirage, either maybe in Australia you see water and sand somewhere, in other places where there's lots of asphalt, you see, what looks like water in the asphalt further on. Okay, is there water? There's nothing. Okay. It's void, hollow, and insubstantial. For what substance could there be in a mirage? So too, bhikshus, whatever kind of discrimination there is, this is the 3rd aggregate, okay? Discrimination, whether past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, a bhikshu inspects it, ponders it, and carefully investigates it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in discriminations? Okay, so discriminations. Yeah, this is the mental factor that can figure out what something is. It discriminates. This is yellow, this is pink. Yeah, this is a book, this is a sheet of paper. Okay? So discrimination is very important, in our perception, because it lets us know what things are. Yeah? So we discriminate the object, and we discriminate the qualities of the object. But what is a discrimination or a discernment? What is that? What is going on in your mind when you can identify something? Yeah. Is it the word? Is it just a perception through your eyes or your ears that you know the difference between one thing and another? Yeah. What are discriminations? They seem void, hollow, and insubstantial. So a lot of our opinions and our ideas are based on discriminations. Discerning, this is this, that is that. This person is innocent, that person is guilty. This is good, that is bad. Yeah. And when we have those discernments, we're quite sure that ours are correct, right? Yeah. And if somebody else discerns something else, they're wrong. Because our discernments are the right ones. Mm-hmm. So if there's a court case, yeah, and then one party says the person is innocent, the other party says the person is guilty. They are both very sure that they're right. Yeah. Right now, in the States, some people say, oh, there's election fraud. Other people say, there's no election fraud. Everybody's discerning, discriminating, very attached to their ideas and their discernments. But what in the world are they? Yeah. They're just ideas, thoughts, something going through the mind. Okay, next one. So this is about the fourth aggregate. Geshe-la and I decided to translate it as miscellaneous factors, because that is actually much more descriptive of what it is. Some people translate it as volitional factors, volition meaning, intention, but not everything in that fourth aggregate is an intention. Yeah, it's really a grab bag. Everything that doesn't belong in any of the other things, categories of impermanent phenomena, it goes in this one. Okay, so it includes feelings, emotions, feelings meaning emotions, yeah? So emotions, ideas, opinions, views, the person, yeah, the person is included in the fourth aggregate. Everything else, yeah, it's just a hodgepodge. So suppose, bhikshus, that a man needing heartwood, seeking heartwood's the center of a tree, yeah. So man needing heartwood, seeking heartwood, wandering in search of heartwood, would take a sharp axe and enter a forest. There he would see the trunk of a large plantain tree. Plantains are a kind of banana tree, okay? They grow these particular bananas, that are kind of fat bananas, and you don't usually eat plantains raw. You usually, well, at least in Central America, South America, they're cooked, and served almost like a vegetable, okay? But the tree, the plantain tree, is quite interesting because it has a trunk. When you look at it, it has a trunk. But if you start dissecting the trunk, it's just a bunch of the leaves, I think, that are all swirled and tied together. Yeah? So it looks concrete, like well, not concrete, but solid, like, one of our trunks out in the forest. Yeah. But when you pull it apart, there's no center, there's no heartwood. Okay? So the Buddha continues. Okay. So we're at the part he would see a trunk of a large plantain tree, straight, fresh, without fruit bud core. He would cut it down at the root, cut off the crown, and unroll the coil. As he unrolls the coil, he would not find even softwood, let alone heartwood. A man with good sight would inspect it, ponder it, and carefully investigate it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, and insubstantial. For what could there be in the trunk of a plantain tree? When you take it apart, there's nothing. Okay, it's like the little dolls that you get in Russia. A big doll, inside is a little one, and little one, little one. When you get to the littlest doll, you open it, there's nothing. Yeah, same with the plantain tree. Looks like there's a core, nothing. Okay. Notice in all of these that when the Buddha's talking about the, intelligent person, what does he do? Yeah, he inspects it. Yeah, he ponders it. He carefully investigates it. He takes it apart and pulls it apart. Okay, so he doesn't just say, "Oh, it's hollow." Yeah, somebody else told me it's hollow, I believe. No, he goes and he does it and he proves it to himself. Yeah, because that's much more reliable than just relying on what somebody else says is at the center of that plantain tree trunk. Okay. Mm-hmm. So too, bhikshus, whatever kind of miscellaneous factors there are, whether past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, a Buddha inspects them, ponders them, and a bhikshu inspects them, ponders them, and carefully investigates them. As he investigates them, they appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in miscellaneous factors? Now, wait a minute. Now, when I have a strong emotion, there is definitely substance to it. Yeah? When I am craving something, oh boy, that craving feeling is real. When I'm ticked off at somebody, my anger is real. What are you doing saying it's insubstantial? Yeah? Do you feel your emotions are insubstantial? Hollow? Empty? No, they're quite real, aren't they? Yeah? And depending upon what emotion I have, I'm going to act according to that. Yeah? If I did well and I'm proud of myself and I feel I'm better than everybody else, I will act better than everybody else because I am. And if I am jealous because somebody else is better than me, I will act jealous and I will do what I can to sabotage their happiness. When I don't care, even somebody else wants me to do something, even somebody's in pain, if I don't care, I don't care. And I'm going to act like that. Because my feeling of not caring is quite real. There's no reason why that person deserves any care right now. They brought this mess on themselves. Okay? It's interesting. Wait until you have a strong view. And look at it, investigate it, ponder it. What in the world is your view? What in the world is this emotion that you live and die for? Yeah? Because we're very emotional beings, aren't we? We think we're very reasonable. Well, to speak for yourself, you may not be reasonable. I am quite reasonable. My ideas are always the best ones. Don't you know that by now? Oh, okay, glad you apologized. Okay, so, yeah, but look, when we don't examine something, an emotion is there, and, it is real. And if somebody says, you don't need to feel that way, like you're really mad at somebody, somebody did something really nasty to you. You're really mad. You go and you dump on a friend. Oh, so-and-so, they did this, they did that, and I'm so ticked off. And your friend says, relax, you don't need to be angry. Is that what you want to hear at that moment? No, I am angry. I want you to take my side, and we're going to be angry together and get even at this person. Yeah. At that moment, when that's going on inside, say, hollow, insubstantial, void. Yeah. And then look how you clutch at that emotion or at that view. Yeah. Okay, next one. This one's going to be about the primary consciousnesses, the 5 sense consciousnesses and the mental consciousness. Suppose, bhikshus, that a magician or a magician's apprentice would display a magical illusion at a crossroads. A man with good sight would inspect it, ponder it, and carefully investigate it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in a magical illusion? Okay, how many of you have been to Disneyland and ridden the Matterhorn? Yeah? I don't know, in Australia, do you have some, what do you call it, amusement parks? Yeah? Where Disneyland in the US, they have one, and at the end, when you're coming out of the ride, you're looking in a mirror across from you, and sitting next to you, what you see is a ghost. Okay? So you look, and you're coming out of this ride. Yeah. I don't know if it's the Matterhorn, another ride. It's what?
The haunted house.
It's the haunted house. Yeah, that would be better. Yeah. So you're coming out of the haunted house. Yeah. There's a ghost sitting next to you. Yeah. Now, if you're a kid and your parents didn't tell you that it was a hologram, and they said, you're going to see a ghost, when you saw that ghost, you would scream. Yeah. Ah, Mommy, Daddy, there's a ghost sitting next to me. Yeah. And if Mommy and Daddy say, it's just a hologram. It's not a hologram. It's a ghost. It's going to eat me up. Yeah. And as much as Mom and Dad said, relax, chill out, you'd say, oh. Okay. So too, bhikshus, whatever kind of consciousness there is, okay, sense consciousness, visual, auditory, olfactory, gustatory, tactile, mental consciousness, whatever kind of consciousness there is, whether past, future, or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, a bhikshu inspects it, ponders it, and carefully investigates it, and it would appear to him to be void, hollow, insubstantial. For what substance could there be in consciousness? Yeah. So sometime, like, look out of your eyes. Yeah, like, okay, now I'm looking at that tonka of green Tara. What is the consciousness seeing that tonka, seeing green Tara? In your experience, where in the world is your visual or your eye consciousness? What is it? Can you isolate your visual consciousness seeing green Tara from the object that you're seeing, green Tara? Can you identify your visual consciousness that's seeing that separate from the object that it's seeing? Where is that consciousness? What is that consciousness? Is it out there with the tanka? Is it in your eyeball? Is it in your brain? Is it anywhere? What is that consciousness? Yeah. Another one to sit with. Okay. Because when we examine, it appears void, hollow, insubstantial. We can't put our finger on what it is. Okay. The sutra continues. Seeing thus, bhikshus, the instructed noble disciple, an Arya disciple, one who's realized emptiness, is disenchanted with form, disenchanted with feelings, disenchanted with discriminations, disenchanted with miscellaneous factors, disenchanted with consciousness. Okay, so disenchanted, yeah, you thought something was something that was important, and you found out it wasn't, and you're disenchanted. Somebody told you you won the lottery, then you take out your ticket, and every number's the same as the winning lottery ticket, except the last number. And you're disenchanted. You thought, oh, now I'm going to be rich forever, and nothing. Okay. So, where are, what, when you're disenchanted, what happens? Yeah, you lose interest in things, right? You thought it was some big deal, you realize it's not. So the sutra continues. Being disenchanted, he becomes dispassionate. Dispassionate means he doesn't care about it. It's not important. Yeah. Oh. He becomes dispassionate. Through dispassion, his mind is liberated. It's liberated from craving. Yeah. When your priorities are not samsaric priorities, yeah, the craving and so on that fuels samsara doesn't continue to function that way. Okay, through dispassion, his mind is liberated. When it is liberated, there becomes the knowledge it's liberated. He understands, destroyed is birth. The holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this state of being. So that's how many Pali Suttas end, somebody becoming an arhat and understanding that. Okay, so this is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said, and here it is in verses, form is like a lump of foam, feeling like a water bubble. Discrimination is like a mirage. Miscellaneous factors are like a plantain tree, and consciousness like an illusion. So explained the kinsman of the sun, that is an epitaph for the Buddha. However one may ponder it and carefully investigate it, you have to really look and examine. It appears but hollow and void when one views it carefully. With reference to this body, the one of broad wisdom, and that is the Buddha, has taught that with the abandoning of three things, one sees this form discarded. When vitality, heat, and consciousness depart from this physical body, then it lies there cast away, food for others, without volition. That's all this thing is. Yeah? When vitality, heat, and consciousness go, it's a cold corpse. Food for others, without volition. No intentions. A dead body has no intentions. Such is this continuum, this illusion, beguiler of fools. It is taught to be a murderer. Here no substance can be found. So we're so attached to our body. We do so much to please this body, to make it comfortable. Yeah, to protect it, to make it beautiful, to display it, to hide it, to identify with it, to curse it. We have so many reactions, responses to this body. Yeah? What is it? This illusion, beguiler of fools. It is taught to be a murderer. It murders our possibilities for awakening. But here, no substance can be found. So when we start to worry about our body, and as we're aging, this is what happens. Yeah, if you haven't paid much attention to your body when you're young, when you age, you start paying attention because your body starts saying, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah. Is it your back? Is it your hips? I need a hip replacement. I need a new knee replacement. I need stronger glasses. I need better hearing aids. I need dentures. I need, hair dye. I need, it's everything to make this body comfortable, fashionable, societally acceptable. And what is it? Why in the world are we so attached to the comfort and beauty of and happiness of this body? Yeah, yes, it's our, we have to keep it clean, take care of it. It's the basis for us having this opportunity we have with a precious human life. But when it comes time to die, is there any reason under the sun to cling to this body and say, I don't want to leave it. If I leave this body, I won't know who I am. Who will I be without this body? Yeah, because we have a whole list of all of our identities, of what we are. So many of them are based on this body or exhibited by this body. Yeah, I am this nationality, this race, this color skin, this color hair, this kind of build, this height, yeah, this weight. My body is old, my body is young, my body is beautiful, my body, it's beautiful for those people who have good eyes. Or rather, bad eyes. They can't see all the wrinkles, all the hair, But it's okay, I'm young, I don't have that right now. And when I grow old, I will still be so beautiful. Yeah. And when they take my picture, they'll always touch it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they won't see the wrinkles, they won't see all the freckles, they won't see the barnacles, okay, the moles, the whatever, yes. Always fresh and beautiful. Yeah, especially when it's dead, lying there cold. Okay. A bhikshu with energy aroused should look upon the aggregates thus, yeah, whether by day or by night, comprehending, ever mindful. He should discard all the fetters and make a refuge for himself. Let him fare as with a head ablaze, to work fast, yearning for the imperishable state. Okay, so that's how this sutra ends. Okay, so what follows in searching for the self in the book, it talks about the view from the Pali tradition of what selfless or not self means. Okay, what's very interesting, because I want to go through that now, is the argument to well, first of all, when you listen to it, when you have to understand, ask yourself, what is the object being negated? Because we all know from studying the Prasangika view, or any view, that's the first thing you have to figure out. What is the object to be negated? What is it that we believe exists that does not exist? Okay, so what we'll go through in a minute is what the Pali system, how it identifies the object of negation. But when you listen to it, it could actually fit the Prasangika object as well. Okay, so let's start that. Okay. So in the Pali tradition, they teach the three characteristics. Things, conditioned things are impermanent, they're unsatisfactory, or the nature of dukkha, and they're selfless. Yeah? So selflessness, or not self, is the most difficult to glean of the three characteristics. To understand it, follow up on the first two characteristics, impermanence and the nature of dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, and ask yourself, is what is impermanent and unsatisfactory fit to be regarded as this is mine, this I am, this is myself? So those three come again and again in the Pali scriptures. And this is referring specifically to, in Tibetan, the mental factor is called jigta. How did I translate it? View of the... Personal identity. What? Personal identity? Is that what I did? Personal identity? Some translate it as view of the perishable aggregates. That's a literal translation. But it's referring to having a personal identity. I and mine, yeah, are our two most popular words. Yeah, I, me, and mine, my, okay? And I and mine are the center of our universe, aren't they? I, most important one. Mine, what makes me happy? Yeah, what I want that will protect me, that will give me bliss. Okay. So, yeah, what is impermanent and unsatisfactory that is fit to be regarded as this is mine, this I am, this is myself? Okay, so underlying the answer is the ancient Indian idea of what is fitting to be regarded as my, mine, or myself, okay? As well as our basic human notion of what we assume our true self to be. Yeah? So the ancient Indian conception of the self is permanent, doesn't change moment to moment. It's eternal, so it never ends. And it is an intrinsically blissful self. Okay? So in the Brahminic traditions, who we are, it is this kind of self. Yeah? It's some permanent essence of me, something that really is me, that never changes, a core personality, a core me-ness. Yeah? Do you have that feeling? Yeah? It's in there. And it doesn't end. Yeah, it's eternal. The real me. So this body may end, my mind may change, but this core, this soul, this thing that is really me, never ends. And it never changes. And it's also intrinsically blissful. I just have to get rid of all the garbage that covers that and see this blissful person that's there. Okay? So the self is the master of the aggregates, able to accomplish what it wishes without depending on anything else. So your idea of yourself, this I, okay, is it the one that bosses, is it the boss of your aggregates? Does the self tell your body what to do? Body, raise your hand. Okay. Hand lower. Okay. Mind, focus. Emotions, subside. Do your emotions listen? Does your mind focus when you tell it to focus? Okay. I want a happy feeling. Happy feeling, arise. Yeah. Does your feeling aggregate then become happy? Because the self told it to? Isn't that interesting? We feel like there's a self that controls the aggregates, that bosses the aggregates about, or should control the aggregates. It does, but the aggregates just don't listen sometimes. Yeah. I told myself to, concentrate, and my mind just, it's rebellious. Okay. So, yeah. But it feels like the self is the master of the aggregates, able to accomplish what it wishes without depending on anything else. My concentration in meditation is lousy, but that's just because I don't try. If I really wanted to develop concentration, I know I could. I could sit there and I could focus and stay on the object of concentration. Nothing would disturb me. I just have to have that intention and I'll be able to do it. Yeah, it's just because I haven't gotten down to that in my practice. I'm a little bit lazy, but I could. Yeah? It feels that way, doesn't it? Yeah? All I need is just, nudge my mind a little bit and I could just do all of this really perfect. Yeah, because the self is the ruler of the aggregates. It's the boss of the aggregates. Okay, clearly a self that is transient and impermanent and under the influence of afflictions and polluted karma, that kind of self does not meet the description of that ancient Indian conception of self that is permanent, eternal, and intrinsically blissful. Okay, why? Because, one reason is the self is impermanent, so it can't be permanent. Yeah? Is it eternal? Well, yeah, am I eternal? There's a different me every lifetime. Yeah, there's a continuum, a general I, but there's different I's. Who I am this lifetime is not the same person I was last lifetime. So that doesn't work. Yeah, and the self is under the influence of afflictions and karma. So is it going to be intrinsically blissful? Forget it. Yeah? As for what we take to be our true self, impermanent things such as our 5 polluted aggregates that are bound up with dukkha will not meet the mark, because the self does not have ultimate mastery over these. Okay? Certainly, we do not want to identify the polluted aggregates as being truly ours, truly what we are, our true selves. Do you want to identify this thing of vegetable goo as your true self? Yeah? What about your feelings, your emotions? My emotions are my true self. I don't know about you, my emotions are very often pretty fickle. Yeah, they don't make much sense. How about my feelings? My happy feeling, my sad feeling, are those who I am? No, and I don't want to be them, because they're fickle too. I'm happy one minute, depressed the next minute, happy the next minute, up and down like a yo-yo. Okay, none of this is truly me, truly I, truly mine, okay? Not finding something we can point to as our true selves puts in question the entire notion of whether such a true self exists. Is there something there that can be delineated and clearly be seen as who I am, who the I is? Yeah. Even with our hand, is there anything, you look and yeah, there's a hand here. But is there anything you can delineate is the hand? Yeah. Oh, you go, yes. If I trace the hand, yeah, and I have that, then I have delineated what the hand is. But when you look at that piece of paper where you've drawn the outline of your hand, is that a hand? No, it's a piece of paper with ink on it. Yeah. So what are you going to delineate as your hand? Oh, it's these cells. Well, if I go like this, some cells have just come off. Yeah? So which cells are my hand? The cells that are attached here, the skin cells that just came off, the muscle cells, the bone cells. Yeah. If you really investigate, what in the world is your hand? Yeah. When you don't investigate, yeah, my hand is here and my hand is picking this up. Okay, so there's a difference between when we analyze and when we don't analyze. Okay, when we don't analyze and ask what is something really, what really is its nature, when we're not analyzing, we're seeing everything's conventional nature. This is just how things appear to an ignorant mind. Yeah, it appears to have its own inherent true nature. But I can still identify it as this is a clock, and this is a recorder, and this is a package of tissues. Okay, but and this is a hand holding the package of tissues, holding the sweet, the cough drop. But when I ask, what really is this hand? And investigate what really is the hand, the hand disappears. If I look at what is really this cough drop? Is it the wrapper? Okay. So what is this cough drop? It's made of, what are cough drops made of? Sugar, yes. What else? What?
It's sugar-free.
Oh, it's sugar-free. Well, some kind of sweetness. Huh? What is, so it has different ingredients. We don't seem to know what the ingredients besides some sweetening agent are. Yeah? How ignorant we are. Yeah? We eat it and we don't even know what's in it. Maybe some microplastics? Yeah, apparently they're swimming around in our body because of the food we eat too. Yeah. So you see, when we analyze, and what is this really, it seems to disappear. Okay, that's because we're looking at its ultimate nature. Yeah. When we don't analyze and we just take things in face value, that's its conventional nature. And we talk about all these different things and they function, and we still make discriminations about it. Okay, this is yours, this is mine, yeah. So we say, okay, this is yours. Why? You paid for it, or somebody gave it to you. It's not mine. But what does it mean for something to be yours? Or what does it mean for something to be mine? I say, this is my body. What makes this mine? Yeah, well, my consciousness feels pain and pleasure from this. So on that basis, I say this is my body. But maybe I should say it's the consciousness's body. But is the consciousness the owner of this body? Consciousness, when you go for surgery, you don't, and it has for your name, you don't write consciousness. Yeah, you write a name. Okay. As for what we take to be our true self, impermanent things, such as our 5 polluted aggregates that are bound up with dukkha, will not meet the mark because the self does not have ultimate mastery over these. Yeah? It's like you want to be a good athlete and you can't, you want to be a high jumper and, as far as you can do is 6 inches off the ground. Yeah, but I should be able to control my body and make it a high jumper. I should be able to ski and not break my neck. Yeah, I should be able to control the body. But can we? And who's the I that we think can control it? Okay. As for what we take to be our true self, impermanent things such as our 5 polluted aggregates that are bound up with dukkha will not meet the mark because the self does not have ultimate mastery over these. Certainly, we do not want to identify the polluted aggregates as being truly ours, truly what we are, our true selves. But sometimes when we're in a really bad mood, I am truly horrible. Yeah, I am truly irredeemable. Yeah, you get in that really bad mood and you start getting down on yourself. Yeah, who's that I? that's so horrible, that's so irredeemable, that everybody in the world hates? Who is it? Is it your body, your feelings, your discriminations, your miscellaneous factors, your primary consciousnesses? What is it? But we can get ourselves in a big funk, can't we? Grasping onto that kind of I. I am so unlovable. If people really knew what I was like, nobody would speak to me. I'm despicable, blah, 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 blah. You get into that. Yeah, it feels so real, like there's a real self. When you're in that state, sit there and say, who? Who? Body, feelings, discriminations, miscellaneous factors, consciousness. Who? What? Yeah. Is that self that is so awful something totally independent of the aggregates? Yeah, that horrible self. Yeah, independent of the aggregates, which means your body and mind could be over here and your terrible self over there. What is your terrible self if it's not related to your body and mind? If it is related to your body and mind, which part of your body and mind is that self? Yeah? Either way, it disappears. I want that real thing. Okay? So really, when you're feeling very down, this is excellent, meditation to do. Yeah. When you are on top of the world, I am so wonderful. Yeah. I am the most intelligent person in this Abbey. I am the most attractive person. I am the most kind and humble person. I am the most likable person. Yeah, I am great. I am so wonderful that don't ask me to do anything because I am too high and lofty. So I will not mop the floor. I will not set up the teachings because I am so wonderful. Yeah, who is that person? Yeah, who is that I that is so wonderful that everybody just adores you and envies you because you're the best at absolutely everything? Yeah, who is that person? Yeah. This is very effective, really effective. Who is that? It feels so real. Yeah, there's a real me that today is the best person in this community and tomorrow will be the worst person in this community. But it's a real I. Yeah. What is it? It's like a lump of foam, a water bubble, yeah, a mirage, the core of a plantain tree, and a magical illusion. Yeah, there's something that appears, but it doesn't exist the way it appears. And then on the basis of something that doesn't exist the way it appears, we make stories about it. Okay? So there's one example that they often use when they're talking about the Svatantrika Madhyamaka and how they describe the object of negation. And the example is a magician, okay? And apparently in ancient India, there were really people who could do this. Yeah, we asked Yeshe Sonam Rinchen if he had ever seen it, and he said no, but they talk about it all the time, so somebody in ancient India must have been able to do it. Okay, so there's a magician who, on the basis of some sticks and stones, and casts a spell on the sticks and stones, cast a spell on the consciousnesses of all the people in the audience, such that those people see horses and elephants. Yeah, there's the base of sticks and stones, but the people see horses and elephants. Yeah, so to the audience, those horses and elephants are real. And so some people, can you imagine, somebody comes in here and all of a sudden in the middle of this room, there are big horses and big elephants. And they look totally real. You don't know that a magician cast a spell. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, you're gonna run? Okay, who's gonna go pet the elephant? Nobody wants to go. Yeah, you're gonna pet the elephant? You're gonna pet the horse? Okay. Yeah, what do you want to pet?
Horse.
The horse? Horse. There's only two people? I want to pet the elephant. Yeah. Oh, but I want to say that I pet an elephant. Okay. So you start, some people are going to go, oh, look, there's a horse. Yeah, I want to ride the horse. I want to pet the horse. Yeah, oh, the horse just pooped. Get away from here. Oh, this horse is beautiful. I want to take it home and show my family. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? I rode into my parents' suburban house on a horse. That would be kind of dramatic. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Or better yet, I want to ride on the elephant. That elephant is so great. Usually elephants are gray. That one's pink. A pink elephant. Yeah, and I can ride on it. I'll be in a parade. Yeah, okay. So you can start making up stories about the horses and elephants. Somebody else is going to go, I'm terrified of horses. I'm scared of elephants. That if that elephant steps on me, I'm mush. I don't want to pet it. Get me away from it. Yeah, I don't like horses. Yeah, or whatever. And we have very strong reactions. Create stories. Develop emotions. Yeah, like the person who owns the horse, because they'll loan it to us. Dislikes the person who owns the elephant. Yeah, because they won't give it to us. Yeah. So we get all confused with all of our ideas and thoughts based on me, I, my, and mine. Yeah. Okay, certainly we do not want to identify the polluted aggregates as being truly ours, truly what we are, or our true selves. I am this vegetable goo. We don't want to do that. not finding something we can point to as our true selves puts in the question the entire notion of whether such a true self exists. Okay? So the doctrine of selflessness, or not self, does not deny the existence of a person designated independence on the body-mind complex. So not self, is negating this kind of permanent, partless, independent, substantial self that is truly the essence of me. Always there. It negates that, but it does not negate a person that exists by being merely designated by term and concept. So those are two different people. The inherently existent self that I think is real does not exist at all. The merely designated self that is born, that dies, that creates karma, that experiences the result of karma, that self exists. How does it exist? It doesn't have a substance in it it's hollow, void and insubstantial. But it exists by being merely designated. Okay? So the doctrine of not self does not deny the existence of a person designated independence on the body-mind complex. It does deny that the person exists as a self, an enduring, substantial, independent entity. Saying the person exists is to say the five aggregates are present. Saying the person is selfless, or that there is no self, means the aggregates cannot be identified as a self and do not contain a self. No inner nucleus of selfhood can be found within or behind the conventional person composed of the five aggregates. And no substantial, inherently existent self can be found totally independent of the aggregates. Okay. So, we can go on, but we've run out of time. I think that's enough to think about today. Try and find out who you are. And especially, when you're mad about something or you're really craving something, stop and say, who? Who? When somebody criticizes you, who? Who in the world are they criticizing? Your body? Your feelings? Your consciousness? Investigate. Somebody says, you jerk, you screwed this whole thing up. What exactly are they criticizing? This? Independent of the mind, just the vegetable goo? They criticizing my happy or unhappy feelings, my discriminations, my moods, my emotions, my primary consciousnesses. What in the world? Who is the jerk that these people are pointing out? You can't find. Okay. So we have a few minutes for questions, comments, maybe answers.
You said a couple times, my Hello, okay. You had mentioned that there are three items: vitality, heat, and what was the third one?
Consciousness.
Consciousness?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. People in Oz, any questions? Comments?
Hello.
Yeah?
Hi, it's Ree. Thank you for the teaching. I don't know who I am now at all, but I'm sure I'll have to listen to this lecture many times over to try and get a better understanding. So thank you.
Sure. Yeah. I'm glad you don't know who you are a little bit. Yeah. It's much more relaxing to not have this big self that we're so worried about and transfixed by. Anybody else? Yeah. I mean, if there is no inherent self, then who are people criticizing? You don't have to go, oh, they criticize me. Okay. On the other hand, who are they adoring? You can't go, oh, they're in love with me. You know. Because who? Who? I think, when I think about it, this constant feeling of I, me, my, mine, I, me, my, mine, there's something quite suffering about it, always just revolving around this thing. Yeah. And if I can really see that thing does not exist in the way I think it exists, whew, wouldn't that be a breath of fresh air? I don't have to worry about what people think of me. In the sense of being mortified if they don't like me, or being totally over the moon if they like me. Yeah, I don't have to get into all of that. Okay.